Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Miss Marvel Season 1, Episode 3, Destined. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. If you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. Also, if you're feeling lucky or you just want to gamble, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages there as well. All right, let's get started, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Hit pause, whatever you want to do. All right. So I know the episode was yesterday, but there was just a lot of crazy stuff that was going on at work, and also Obi-Wan. I had to do that yesterday as well. So that's where this lands, is today. It lands on Thursday. So I'm still having a problem with this series, and I think I know what it is. It's two different types of series that are butting heads is what's going on, and they're not working together is what's happening. I understand this is also an origin story. The first episode she gets her bangle. The second episode she gets her powers, she's using them and she realizes how to use them. The third episode she gets her mask here. Also she finds out a little bit about the bangle and the background. The other that's the kind of Marvel-esque portion of this. I'm not really feeling the Marvel vibe in this, is what I'm not feeling. The other part of it is a Disney Channel series of a Pakistani girl who, growing up in America, I should say, and culture versus idealism, whimsy, I guess you can say, creativity that she has, and it's kind of clashing. And granted, I would actually probably watch something like this from the Disney Channel circa the 90s kind of thing. Um, it is good. I mean, there's things in this episode that are actually kind of nice. I mean, you see the whole thing with the wedding, which having the whole wedding party dancing a Bollywood number, which is actually a classic Bollywood number, and then of course going over to the newer generation and playing a different song in a another kind of dance number that is more modern, I guess you could say. And you can see the camera movement of zooming in on people and things like that during this episode, which feels very TV, 90s TV. That's what it felt like to me. And then you have the other portion of it where you have Najma. I'm going to murder her name. Cameron's mother, who we find out is actually a group of people called clandestine or clan destin. It's actually two words. It's actually an obscure 90s Marvel comic, which never took off. And it's about a group of jinn, that are blue skinned, aliens, if you will. And that's what she explains to Kamala, is that they are actually from another dimension, and they're just trying to get home. They need the bracelet in order to get home. It activates Nor that is inside them. That's why they know that she has it, because they can feel it when she activates it. And they need her help to get home, supposedly. Hey, Marks. Yeah, I don't mind if you skip the series. That's fine. But Bruno does a little bit of digging into the power consumption of that, what the bracelet needs in order to break into other dimensions. He actually takes a look at some papers that Dr. Selvig from Thor. I don't know if you remember the very first Thor movie. We had Dr. Selvig. So that's your Marvel tie-in to the main thing there. He talks about that. Yes, you can travel through to other dimensions, but you need the power of a sun. So it would be very, very, very destructive for Kamala to help the clandestine go home using the bracelet. And also, by the way, they look like they're in their 40s, all of the clandestine, and they were around with her great grandmother um, at that time, Aisha, in 1942 in British occupied India, which we see at the very beginning. So there's some cinematic stuff that would fit in with a Marvel movie, the way it's shot, and then there's a lot of Disney Channel stuff that doesn't Disney Channel shot stuff, sitcom stuff, if you will, that it doesn't feel like it's working together. That's what my problem is with this. Is there are two different shows being shoehorned into the same show, and yeah, I don't know how to resolve it. I mean, honestly, I think it might resolve itself by the end once she gets. I already know that she's not going to have her full power. She's not going to have her full costume or anything like that until the very, very end of this series. I've already come to that conclusion because I've come to terms with that, because that's what these Marvel shows are, especially the origin stories. Is your main character is not going to get their full suit. They're not going to get their full set of powers. They're not going to get their name or anything like that until the very last episode. And yeah, Hawkeye did that with Kate Bishop. Uh, WandaVision kind of well, it shit the bed later on, but still. Anyway, that's what's going on with these series. Is yes, they are doing origin stories, but you're not getting the full character until the very last episode, so they can bring them into the movies. Is what's happening here. So, going back to the Bangle in 1942, Aisha and the clandestine are digging around in what looks like an old temple, and on the temple floor is carvings for the 10 rings. So we have a 10 rings Shang-Chi reference there. And then they find a blue severed arm, which again could be Kree, it could be Jin, we don't know. And that's where the bangle is attached to, is to the blue severed arm. And that was when Aisha took the bangle off and she put it on herself. And of course, uh, we don't know what happened from there. Anyway, um, Kamala decides that she wants to put the brakes on helping the clandestine, after Bruno gives her all the information. And Bruno, by the way, tells her that he got into Caltech and that he's going to go because, he wants to do this. He definitely wants to go. And so it's kind of a lot of information that's kind of thrown at them all at once. And during the wedding, of course, what happens is the clandestine decide to come in and want to take the bangle by force and kill all the people that are in there if that are getting their way. And um, Cameron, being the nice guy that he is, actually comes by to warn Kamala about this, and she has to pull the fire alarm and get everyone out. And a fight scene ensues, and damage control comes in because, of course, damage control is looking for Nightlight because she is a Muslim with superpowers, or as they say, a brown girl with superpowers. So of course they think that she's going to be some kind of weapon. Uh, well, at least this one agent does, who is fairly racist, is what we're getting at this point. The agent walks into the mosque to search the mosque without a warrant, doesn't take off her shoes before entering the mosque, and luckily, you know, we have uh, Kamala's friend Nakia, who is now just been voted into the board of the mosque. She's now a board member of the mosque, and she's the one that holds back damage control and says, "You can't come back here until you have a warrant," kind of thing. Um, so yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff that is likable in this series, but it just doesn't gel together. It feels like two separate things, two separate entities that are trying to be forced together, and it's just not working for me on that end. I know it's working for other people. That's great. Sorry, I'm just noticing a little something there. And yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I'm hopefully by the end of this, we won't be let down, kind of like we have been with like like the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm hoping that this ends on a brighter note so we can move on from it. And that looking back at it, we're like, okay, we needed to go through that in order to get to this end point. But I don't know. I don't know where we're at. Penn says I never watched Disney TV, but I think this series is okay so far. Again, there's enjoyable stuff in this, but it's two separate stories that are vying for control, and it's just not working for me. And so at the very end there also Najma, I'm gonna murder I murder names, by the way. Najma grabs onto the bangle, and we see a vision of a train. uh they both see a vision of a train, and of course the clandestine get arrested by damage control. um Kamala escapes. Bruno is injured. Um, Nakia actually sees Kamala use her powers and says, "What the fuck is that?" And they're like, "They're looking for you," is what she says. So now we don't know if Nakia is going to be on board with this or not. We'll see what happens later on. And um, Kamala gets a phone call, of course, from her grandmother, and says, "You and your mom need to come to Karachi now. You saw the train, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, you need to come to Karachi now. You need to come. You saw the train. You need to come now." So that's where we kind of leave off on this episode. And it looks like we're on the road to Karachi at this point. Isn't that a Bob Hope, Bing Crosby movie, The Road to Karachi? We're on the road to Karachi. Or maybe not. Anyway, that's where we leave off on this. Again, I'm hoping that it becomes a little more cohesive as a series, because right now it's fighting itself. It really is. I don't know if that's part of it, if it's supposed to be mirroring the fight between with Kamala, with her heritage, and then also the superhero aspect of it, and how to honor her heritage but still become a superhero. And I'm wondering if that's what the case is, and if that's the case, then okay, I can see that. But it's very jarring is really what's going on, you know. I'm showing my age with that reference. The Bing Hope, Bing Crosby, Bob Hope. Yeah, I know. I know. But you know what? Some of the kids watch Family Guy, the Family Guy, and he makes references to that all the time. So but yeah, I'm wondering if that's the case, if they're just trying to make it this kind of jarring so we have the same reference point for what Kamala is going through. Kamala. So, yes, I know they pronounce it in the show, but I watched the show last night and I can't remember from then to now because I've got so much other shit that's going on. I blanked on it. There are literally sometimes I write down phonetically how the name is spelled or said, because yes, I do fuck up names that much. I fuck up my own name sometimes too. So it just happens. Anyway, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow, I can't wait because I know it's pretty much up right now. The Boys, episode 6, Hero Gasm, is going to be tomorrow. Fuck, I can't wait to see this. Yeah, Hero Gasm is going to be on. Saturday, I'm going to be off. Sunday is going to be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. Monday is going to be Westworld because it's too late on Sunday night to do Westworld right after it airs. Tuesday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? It's going to be Umbrella Academy season 3 because that's out. I just started watching that. I got the first episode under my belt already. And then, of course, Wednesday we roll back around again to Miss Marvel because it rolls around, on Wednesdays now. And we don't have Kenobi to deal with at that point. So there you go. That's where we're at for next week. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. That's right, Ben. A lot of good stuff coming up here. So, yeah. With that said, I want to thank everyone who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. And one of the videos, my fast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. Also, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All righty. I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night because I'm going to go watch me some boys and Herogasm and be both repulsed and probably laughing hilariously at the same time. So until tomorrow, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may realize that that bangle that you got is actually from a blue skin severed arm from 1942 British controlled or British occupied India, and British controlled too. And there's a group of immortals that kind of want it so they can get home, but they might destroy the universe in order to get there. It's not a big deal. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without it. And I will see you on the flip side. Until then, have a good rest of your night and take care, everyone. Thanks. Have a good night.